Did you know that the average superhero movie costs over $200 million to make? But if you've ever watched one of these movies, you might be wondering where all of that money goes. The truth is that it takes a lot of money to make a superhero movie. And when you take into account all the different aspects of production, it's easy to see how so much money can be spent. When it comes to making a movie, there are three major categories that expenses fall into: cast, crew, and marketing. Each of these categories is important in its own way, but the cast and crew are the most important because without them, there would be no movie to market. So let's start with the cast. The cast of a superhero movie typically consists of two groups of actors, the main cast and the supporting cast. The main cast is obviously important because they're the ones who carry the movie. This is also the most expensive part of the budget. The biggest chunk of the budget goes towards paying the lead actors and actresses. For example, Robert Downey Jr. was paid $75 million for his role as Iron Man in Avengers Endgame, while Chris Hemsworth was paid $15 million for his role as Thor. Of course, these actors aren't just paid for their work in the movie. They're also paid for their work in promoting the movie. This is why you'll often see them at comic conventions and on talk shows. The supporting cast is also important, but they don't get paid as much as the main cast. These actors still need to be paid well, though, since they're carrying some of the weight of the movie. For example, Josh Brolin was paid $6.5 million for his role as Thanos in Avengers Endgame. Another thing to consider is the stunts. Stunts are an important part of any action movie, but they're especially important in superhero movies. This is because superhero movies are known for their big action scenes and fight sequences. For example, the final battle in Avengers Endgame had some amazing stunts and fight sequences. It took months to plan and choreograph these scenes, and they required a huge team of stunt performers. The best stunt performers in the world were hired for this movie, and they were paid very well for their work. Finally, we have the crew. The crew of a superhero movie is just as important as the cast. The crew is responsible for making sure that the movie runs smoothly from pre-production to post-production. The crew is also responsible for making sure that the movie looks good. This is especially important in superhero movies because the visuals are so important to the story. For example, the special effects in Avengers Endgame were amazing. It took a team of hundreds of people months to create the visual effects for the movie. The visual effects team was led by a visual effects supervisor, and they worked closely with the director to create the look of the movie. One of the most important members of the crew is the director. The director is responsible for the overall look and feel of the movie. They also work closely with the cast to get the best performances possible. The director is also responsible for making sure that the movie is finished on time and on budget. This is a huge task, but it's also very rewarding. Directing a superhero movie is one of the most prestigious jobs in Hollywood. Now that we've covered the cast and crew, let's take a look at marketing. Marketing is another important aspect of superhero movies. This is because superhero movies are often very expensive, and studios need to make sure that they recoup their investment. Marketing also helps to build hype for the movie, which leads to more ticket sales. Studios typically spend tens of millions of dollars on marketing a superhero movie. They use a variety of methods to market the movie, including trailers, TV spots, online ads, and merchandise. The goal of marketing is to reach as many potential viewers as possible and generate excitement for the movie. Superhero movies are some of the most popular movies in the world. There are a few reasons for this. First, superhero movies are often very entertaining. They typically have a lot of action, which keeps viewers engaged. Additionally, superhero movies often have a strong message. This could be a message about hope, justice, or good triumphing over evil. Finally, superhero movies typically feature iconic characters. Viewers often connect with these characters and want to see them succeed. With all of that said, let's take a look at how much money the top-grossing superhero movies have made. The top-grossing superhero movie of all time is Avengers Endgame, which grossed over $2.7 billion worldwide. The movie was a critical and commercial success. It was praised for its action, humor, and emotional impact. Avengers Endgame was the culmination of 11 years of storytelling in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Fans were eager to see how the story would end, and the movie did not disappoint. Another successful superhero movie is Spider-Man No Way Home, which grossed over $1.9 billion worldwide. The movie was a critical and commercial success. It was praised for its action, humor, and emotional impact. Spider-Man No Way Home was a unique movie in the Spider-Man franchise. It featured villains from previous Spider-Man movies, as well as alternate versions of This made the movie more exciting and unpredictable, which contributed to its success. Finally, we have Avengers: Infinity War, which grossed over $2 billion worldwide. The movie was a critical and commercial success. It was praised for its action, humor, and emotional impact. Avengers: Infinity War was an important movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It set up the events of Avengers Endgame, which would conclude the story. Infinity War left viewers on a cliffhanger, which generated hype for the final installment of the saga. As you can see, there are many factors that contribute to the success of a superhero movie. These movies are often very popular because they are entertaining, thought-provoking, and visually impressive. When all of these elements come together, the result is a movie that audiences will never forget. Now that you know how much money goes into making a superhero movie, do you think it's worth it? Comment below! Also, be sure to check out our next video. We'd love for you to stick around. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Recap! Making superhero movies is a complex and expensive process that requires a lot of money to produce. The cost of a superhero movie includes the salaries of the cast and crew, as well as the cost of marketing and promotion. The cast is the most expensive part of the budget, followed by the crew. Marketing is also an important part of the budget, but it's typically less than 10% of the total cost. The top-grossing superhero movies have grossed over $2.7 billion worldwide. The success of a superhero movie can be attributed to a number of factors, including the quality of the film, the popularity of the characters, and the strength of the story. In conclusion, making a superhero movie is a huge undertaking that requires a lot of money, time, and effort. But the results can be truly amazing. From the special effects to the action sequences to the overall story, superhero movies offer something for everyone. So the next time you sit down to watch a superhero movie, remember all of the hard work that went into making it? We've learned a lot about superhero movies. Now, it's time to put your knowledge to the test. Here are some questions to see how much you've learned. What are the 3 most popular superhero movies of all time? What are the 3 most expensive parts of making a superhero movie? What is the name of the production company that produces the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies? Answer the questions in the comments below. See how many you can get right? If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this. Thanks for watching. Until next time!